So we're just going to go ahead and start with the very top right. Snarf, go ahead, kick us off.
Hi, my name's Snarf. I'm a wrestler, half-orc, and my arch nemesis name is Slick Rick, the slime ball. And I'm from Canada, by the way. From Canada.
Ah, the mysterious land of Canada.
Yes. My mother was a famous wrestler. Her name was Ravina Strongarm McDonald. My father, a very strong skull crusher orc named Grom, a McDonald. And, yeah, I hail from a land far away from, where we are now, but I'm honored to be here in Nylora, and it's a great place to be as a wrestler.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. We're moving on to Sarloth.
Hello, I'm Sarloth, a Tiefling wizard with a deep-seated love for tea and rather disdain for going anywhere outside of the library. But here I am, thanks to my lovely wife.
Who is the next to introduce themselves? You are not talking?
Sorry about that. My name is Morgan. I will be playing Miidyr, Sarloth's wife. And honestly, this nerdy boy just needed to get out of the library, so I dragged him along with me.
Perfect. Flopping back down, Flora.
I am a Herangon hailing from Hidey Hole. I have 12 children, 12 loving little babies that are out in the world, so we might meet them, as they're all very talented little creatures. And I'm a Paladin of Lotus, all hail nature, who is also very unforgiving, so that means I get to be unforgiving too. I mean, live, laugh, lettuce.
Yeah.
Alright, and then we're moving on to Tsena.
Hello, I'm Tsena. No last name. I'm a paladin as well and a friend of Flora. I've been following her recently, and we've been going on little adventures and eating a lot of pastries, and it's been quite a lot of fun. My reasoning is my own, and I'm not going to tell you guys about it because you might want to tune in and see what happens as time progresses.
All right, and then we're going to move on over to Basura.
Hello, my name is Ricky. I will be playing a Triton named Basura. He is a little on the red side, and this is very uncommon, but due to some unforeseen accidents in his past, i.e. a mutiny, he is now back with a vengeance, and nobody really seems to know who he is.
All right, and my name's Alex. I'm going to be the DM for this campaign. So we had a couple of sessions here. We have some everybody into the town. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of jump straight in. So the tapestry of Illustra, the continent of which we find ourselves, unfurls, a land of vibrant contrasts and enduring mysteries, from the towering peaks of the Estrios Mountains to the whispering sands of the Nylora Desert. Mighty empires have rose, and ancient civilizations have left their mark upon the land. Yet along Illustra's shifting northern coastline lies a nation forged by a different spirit, Versailles, a realm of boundless curiosity and a thirst for the unknown. It is a land of explorers and scholars where weathered maps and star charts are valued as highly as coin. Its cities hums with the exchange of knowledge, where grand ruins from the old elven kingdoms echo with debates on history, philosophy, and whispered potential magical discoveries. This place is a forest of large proportion towards the meaning of trying to get their succession from the Kingdom of Kalo from a war just 30 years past organized, as the families of Versailles have banded together to create a new nation that is incredibly young, and the older nations are starting to kind of impinge and put pressure upon them to see if they will stabilize or if they'll collapse from the outside influence. But we find our intrepid heroes at the very north of this nation in the city of Nylora, where sun-bleached wooden structures rise from the waves, adorned with shimmering scales and banners rippling in salt-soaked sea. The air thrums with a symphony of voices, seasoned shouts of sailors from distant lands, melodic lilt of Tritons bartering with fascinated merchants, and the eager questions of scholars seeking knowledge from the depths. The Festival of Tides, or in the native language, the Orik'Shi, transforms Nylora into a whirlwind of celebration. Aromas of sizzling seafood mingle with exotic spices. Storytellers weave tales of leviathans and forgotten shipwrecks as children chase bubbles infused with bioluminescent magic. Nylora is more than just a port city. It's a culmination of Visay's spirit and a testament to the enduring bond between humanity and the ocean realm. Descend beneath the waves to find the majestic Palace of Tides, where the nation of Liak-Tu of the Tritons mix with the land dwellers of Nylora themselves, where leaders of both worlds shape the future or hushed depths of the coast of Visay towards the north, where forgotten lore and rumors of the haunted Avarok's Abyss reside. From the bustling markets of Ceres's Exchange to the watchful Australian Tower, Nylora thrums with possibility, beckoning you to leave the familiar far behind. So come, friends, and let's discover the extraordinary wonders of Nylora, as well as the party of burgeoning people and winding destinies that happen to find within this city itself. We begin with two people that had previously been on the shore late at night, crossing into past the lightning rod, a large lighthouse on the northeast shore of Nylora. They were looking for some creature, bioluminescent and green, that had been seen by a few of the local city people, but had only been seen once. And when they had left here with Jaka, one of the fishermen's, they encountered it and failed horribly at trying to contain and or defeat this creature, and was entrapped inside some sort of mind prison as they walked into the waves. Snarf and Basura, you find yourself washed ashore, waking up coughing as your lungs fill with salted, stinging water. You both turn over and face each other as you look down, and you are covered in a thick layer of this clear, cloudy mixture of opaque mucus. And as you look up, the sun is just peeking over, shedding off the fingertips of its rays through the clouds, kind of covering up the overcast as you sit up.
Oh god, I hope this isn't what I think it is.
Oh god, it was a ghost. It's ectoplasm, I swear. There's ectoplasm everywhere.
Yeah, for my well-being, we're gonna say it's ectoplasm.
Oh jeez. Was
Last
there
I
stuff
remember,
green?
we were in the water. Our guide was like entranced, and I tried to stop her, and then you were netting him.
Oh yeah, definitely got him netted.
And then we were going in the water. That's the last thing I remember.
It just felt so calming and like almost reassuring to just kind of dive down deep. I don't know why.
And it's really weird that I was like choking on seawater because,
Don't you breathe that shit?
yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that.
All right, let's go check with that lady and see if she came back too.
Was it Chaka? No, it was not Taryn. I think it was. Was her name Jaka?
Yeah. Jekka.
Yeah.
She was the one with the accent that kept on changing.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. All right, yeah, let's go find him or her.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna do like a little scan around the beach to see if there's anything out of place or if I see like a foot sticking out of the water.
Give me a perception check. A 10. Looking around, your head still is kind of spinning from the lack of memory that you have from the time that you were submerged and entranced to now. As you see the shore slowly having the water slap against the sand, and you look down, and you're probably about 200 feet from the lightning rod itself. So not too much further from where you had encountered the creature. But nothing seems to be sticking out. There's no bodies. There's no blood. And you can kind of see in the distance Nylora itself kind of waking up. And you can see large, colorful banners kind of flowing into the wind on top of some of the buildings.
All right, I'm gonna walk a little bit more into the water and kind of scrub myself clean from the ectoplasm.
Well, let's just check and make sure there's no green shit nearby. Right. Go clean up. Do me a quick little dip dive in the water here, making sure there's no green things sneaking up on me.
Yeah, as you're looking around, it seems like a normal beginning to a day on the coast. Especially you, Snarf. Seems like every single day you've been here, except for you're not in Nylora. The beach is calm. The sound of seabirds out to the ocean as well that are coming into the shore. Pretty much the only sound you hear. Slight wind.
Let's see. Any sign of a lost child nearby?
Besides your body prints within the wet sand that you just got up from, there seems to be no footprints, no drags, no sign of children.
All right, let's go check on Jekka, see if she came back, because that's who we were trying to chase into the water.
Yeah, let's go do that. Yeah, I was just remembering that dock worker's child was somewhere around this lightning rod. I was keeping an eye out. But yes, let's go do that. Offward we go.
As you walk further towards Nylora along the shore, you can see out to sea some of the fishing vessels are making their way back from the early morning catches and out. And the closer you get to Nylora, the more sound starts to surround the area. There is a bunch of voices. And as you're walking up towards the left side or the southern side, where the sand wall gets bigger and up, covered in rocks and other various vegetations for the coast, you see tons of people in wagons waiting at the front gates, slowly being kind of ushered in for the festival. The colors of the city have switched from that kind of sun-bleached wood with that dull beige color into vibrant patterns of fabric and flags and covers that have been set up around in the colors of teal, blue, green, and white, the colors of Tara, who this festival is dedicated to. There are many depictions of sharks and other effigies of sharks that are kind of set up around. There's people with shark teeth that are up, shark leather clothing, large floating apparatuses made out of wood that seem to be kind of moving mechanically back and forth to mimic a shark's swimming pattern. And you're walking along the beach and up to where the Sheres's exchange ended, and there is a plethora of people, just droves, that are going into the exchange. And people are on the shore themselves and on the beach kind of taking in. You see people that are obviously tourists from different areas, definitely not from here, who are just kind of sitting on the beach, their feet in the sand, kind of watching the morning waves kind of hit up into the exchange, and people watching as well, if not enjoying just the moment itself. And the sound of voices kind of hit the water in a reflective-like way, and it almost seems like it's an echoey-like area, with the shallows themselves having been filled with the kelp guard around the area, and you can see towards the crest, the higher up part, down the long path that leads down into the shallows, you can see the kelp warden himself checking each wagon or carriage, and some of them are going into the shallows themselves, some are going down further into the deeps, into the water, and kind of ushering in this whole scene of busy festival.
I feel like we look a little bedraggled and underdressed for right now.
We bit hungover, as they say.
I'm gonna kind of scan around, see if I can see any kind of easy marks real quick.
Yeah, go and give me a perception check. There's a few marks. You see some people that are not really paying attention to their coin purse as much. The problem is that there's so many people that it's gonna be a difficult maneuver in order to get some of these easier targets. If it was less people around, but it looks like there's a lot of people that are just paying attention to people, looking around. There's a lot more eyes than you're normally used to. So there are easier marks, but a lot more that could see you doing it.
All right. I'm just gonna nudge Snarf and be like, let's go by the bar real quick and freshen up.
Yeah, I wonder what Lef's up to. Let's go check on that old guy. Make sure no Mafia members have taken him down again.
All right, so we are going to switch scenes. We are going to go over to Sarloth and Miidyr. And you awaken inside of your room at the clam, getting up, ready to go. The dawn's light is shining through a window that has been tinged with algae and sea salt, and it kind of makes this opaque glow from the curtains that you have shut underneath them. Sarloth has awoken, and Miidyr, it looks like that his passing out on the bed and you slowly moving his body. He seems a little bit more in pain as the muscles in their legs have succumbed to the pain of having to lift the heavy luggage and books that they had carried with them to the city.
But I feel... I did not sleep well last night, darling.
Really? Why?
Oh no, the worst pain I have felt in a long time. Can't place it. It's from doing too much work, I feel.
Too much
Sure.
walking.
Well, and carrying the books. Perhaps next time I should pack fewer.
You packed the entire appendices, so yeah, I would say fewer would be better.
They were important to our studies. You never know when you might find an animal you've never seen before, and then you need to document. I would love
You have not opened them once.
Yes, I've not seen an animal I've not recognized yet.
Okay.
One day, darling, I would like to name a beetle after you, and I can only name a beetle after you if I've never seen said beetle before. Or deer.
This is true.
Possibly a dragon, but I feel like they've all been discovered at this point.
More
But
than
you and
likely.
dragons never ends well.
You always go back to that.
No. Not the not dragon. I'm talking about the real dragon 3 weeks later.
Yes, that was a debacle and a
that.
half.
I loved that robe. That was my favorite robe.
Well, it was brand new, and I told you not to wear it.
Yes, but I also wasn't expecting to be dragged back out into the field again.
Well, all right. Do you think we can go to breakfast, or do you need me to carry you?
I think I'll be fine, but some breakfast would be lovely. Maybe something that passes for tea in a town like this.
I'm sure we could find something.
Yes, not outside of the tea shops, I'm sure, but we'll do our best.
You and that leaf water.
Yes, well, it's better than your bean water, darling.
Coffee is an art.
As is tea.
All right, come on, let's go.
Okay. I'll get up from the bed and, stretch and wince as things creak and clench. Start too many books, darling. Don't let me pack so many next time.
Yes, because you listen to me so well.
Every day, my love.
Miidyr gets up and she's on this part of the bed that was not occupied by her husband's passed out form. I just puts on her boots because I think she slept in just her regular clothes that night.
Okay.
Have you seen my boots by any chance? Like I was wearing them when I fell asleep.
They're at the foot of the bed.
Oh, yes, where a boot would likely belong. Of course. Yes, that makes logical
Really?
sense. Thank you,
It
dear.
has to go right there. That's it.
Cool. Grab my boots and shove them in, and oh god, they're cold. What a backwards town, dear.
You are the one who wanted to come out this way. I told you
Oh,
it probably
yeah.
wouldn't be what you imagined.
Yes, but new animals, the White Tower, all sorts of exciting things to explore. And our honeymoon, of course. Can't forget about that, yes. 99% of the
Yes.
reason why we're here. Our honeymoon at the festival. Oh, breakfast? You mentioned breakfast? Downstairs?
Come on. And Miidyr removes all the stuff she had used to barricade the room to leave.
It seemed quite excessive, dear. I don't know why you do that every night.
You know why. Don't even.
Like it would be simpler to, I don't know, lock the door.
Yes, because locks are impervious, as I have proven to you the number of times you've locked your office.
Yes. It was a fine oak door you broke down that first time. Shame they won't give me anything like that anymore.
It's almost like it was antique.
It was an antique.
I warned you.
More subtle ways next time, dear.
No.
No, that tracks. Well, onward to breakfast, and I march downstairs. Are you coming, darling? Just
Miidyr just follows behind him, letting him
Okay.
do his thing.
As soon as you exit the room, we're switching back because we have two people in the exact same area. Tsena, as well as Flora. You guys are waking up inside of the other room, just right down the hall. There's kind of a feeling from you, Flora, of something that doesn't seem right. There's that kind of itch that you get when something's wrong, that motherly kind of instinct. Something's kind of off. You can't tell what or when or who or the subject, but there is something that, again, hits the back of your mind like something is just a little off about today.
As I go to put my chainmail on, I'm gonna fluff out my white fur, and kind of look over at Tsena. Something just isn't right. I don't know, deep within me, I don't think we're gonna have a good day.
You should really be a little bit more positive, you know.
Are you mothering me right now?
I'm actually going to sit behind her and start brushing the hair that's between her ears back as she's putting on her chainmail. You
Oh, thank you.
you feel like whipping up some breakfast? I have an idea.
Do you think they'll let me take over the kitchen?
I don't think they'll let us unless we have official Paladin type business of baking some holy water.
Do you bake that? I don't think
I don't think they know.
I mean, I made holy carrot juice one time for the kids. You know what? Never mind. We probably don't have time for that story.
Well, I'm gonna head downstairs and see if I can't get us about a half hour in that kitchen, and maybe you can whip up some pastries for everybody.
That sounds great. And then I can throw a little magic in them too.
In the meantime, whatever it is that negative thought that's niggling in your brain, either get rid of it or just try to be a little bit more positive. Or if it does come to you, whatever it is, let me know. We'll see what we can't do about it.
I'll put a little bit more of a hop in my step. I'll try to be a little bit more. And she holds out her little paw, positive for you. And then she's gonna pat you on your shoulder.
I see what you did there. I'm going to exit the room and start heading downstairs from the common.
Okay, as you head down or exit your room and start to head down, you see two tieflings. If you want to go ahead and describe your characters, Miidyr and Sarloth.
Miidyr is a almost like sapphire blue skin tiefling with blue-black hair. She has horns that curl back and then up above her hair, and she's just wearing very simple leather armor and has a rapier and a few daggers at her side. Sam, we can't
You're
hear you.
muted.
There we go. No, now it's off again.
Not working.
Excuse us while we have technical difficulties.
We're not allowed to know.
Oh.
Hello.
You know what mine was there's a fourth cord that disconnected from mine, and I had no idea.
The fourth chord.
I thought the cord right here was like a permanent cord that it always attached, and it was like a cord you can actually pull out, and it was
It-
barely out that one day, and that's why the mic wouldn't work.
Gotcha.
Here you are.
Hi. Hi.
Welcome back.
Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Sarloth is a dark gray, kind of like Twilight tiefling. His horns sweep back along with his hair. They kind of hug his head. He wears gold-rimmed glasses and has kind of simple robes and at least 3 books on his personage at all times, including his spellbook and journal that he denotes interesting animals or fauna that he has discovered.
Good morning.
And we're just kind of chatting as we walk.
Other people. Good morning.
Morning.
I was just heading downstairs hoping they have some breakfast here or something.
Yes,
That's what we
as were
were.
we.
Yeah.
I'm Sarloth, by the way. This is my wife, Miidyr.
Sarloth, Miidyr. Well, good day. And I'm going to walk down the stairs.
I'll be exiting the room not too terribly long after.
What a strange fellow.
You have that effect on a lot of people, I find, honey.
Are you sure it's me? Because they tend to talk to me when it's just me around. More than I'd like sometimes. Oh, I do hope we don't run into last night's tiefling again.
She was nice. You just need to be, normal.
I am normal, darling.
Sure.
Let's get on
Flora
with the day.
hears all this. She comes out.
Oh, a Herangon. Hello.
Flora's all white. She's got bright blue eyes, like you're almost like falling into like a cove or something where the water's real clear and blue. She's only like 3 foot tall though, but she's got some chainmail on, and she looks pretty moving.
Oh, I've never actually seen a Herangon in person. Not common in the library. Nice to
Oh.
finally meet one.
Tieflings.
Yes, I'm Saul. This is my
morning.
wife, Miidyr.
Hello. She puts a little paw to shake both of your hands.
Miidyr shakes it.
Yeah, I reach down and... Oh, you have a firm grasp.
Of course, I've got to swing my flail around. Do you see it? It has little carrots on the end of it. Anyway, I get excited about things.
I know
well,
that feeling.
I'm Flora, but if you need some, you need anything, I'm gonna be trying to take over the kitchen for just a moment, so I might have some sweet treats to share.
Oh, well, good luck with taking over the kitchen. Sounds like quite the task.
No, it takes about maybe like an hour.
Ah, okay, well. Good luck. Have a wonderful morning.
Thank you. And she kind of just like does a little tiny bow and then heads off.
Fascinating. I pull out my journal and I start scribbling.
Darling, what did we say about writing about strangers?
She's not a stranger. Her name is Flora.
Flora, what?
Maybe she doesn't have a last name, dear. Do you know much about Herangon culture?
Well, we do live near, a whole borough of them, as far as I remember.
Well, I've never actually seen one in the wild, so... Polite notes.
All right, darling. And Miidyr just starts down the stairs.
I'll follow, but cliche, like I walk into a wall. Oh heavens, sorry.
Right.
You first one down is going to be Tsena. As you walk out into the waiting area, it seems to be a lot less crowded than it was yesterday when you came in. There is still a few stragglers that are kind of hanging out in the lounging area, but there doesn't seem to be a line, and the person that is manning the front desk is different than what you were originally introduced to. And this is a very stand-up kind of elf that has a black and white shirt and jacket, as well as very nice pressed pantaloons and shiny shoes, with a very long, drawn-out, waxed, thin mustache of a light green amber color, with hair that has been pulled back into a rogue knot, and is kind of looking around kind of nonchalantly, hands behind their
Interesting.
back.
I'll go straight up to the gentleman, if I may.
Hello, guest. Yes.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Good
I seem
morning.
to have a bit of a conundrum. A fellow paladin and I secured a room for the night, and we woke up this morning and realized that we don't have what we need for the ceremonies of the day, and I was wondering if I could use your kitchen for about an hour to create some holy water.
Oh, we do not have a kitchen here. We are
No,
just
we
an
don't.
inn.
Oh my goodness. No food whatsoever.
No. No, but we do have a few other restaurants kind of up on the Keelbreaker's Alley. Sores's Exchange also has quite a few people that tend to cook some bakery treats and other things for the morning.
Well, thank you. Could you give me directions?
Yes, which way would you like to head? Are we doing the restaurants, or are we heading more down to
Doesn't matter.
Sores's Exchange?
For my purposes, I just need a stovetop, so...
Well, it's kind of hard to tell you where to go if I don't know exactly what you're looking for.
A stovetop.
A stovetop. I'm guessing most places that cook would have one. So, any of the restaurants, Ceres's Exchange also has outdoor cooking, so more of like a grill kind of atmosphere. If you're looking for that, I'm not one who is a expert in culinary appliances. I'm sorry.
Very well. It's quite nice to meet you all the same. Very nice mustache. Give
Oh,
yourself
thank you,
a
thank you,
groom.
thank you.
Have yourself a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you.
I'll
And
go
at
wait
this
the bottom
time, you
of the stairs.
see the rest of the people kind of come down. Miidyr, and Flora first, and then Sarloth, and then Miidyr. Quickly behind.
Yeah, no dice, no kitchen.
Not at
Oh.
all.
What a shame.
No, we'll have to go somewhere else. Perhaps you two would like to join us.
I say the more the merrier.
We'd be happy to.
That would be fine. Thank you.
Yes. If the festival is today, so just be wary of pickpockets and the like.
We'll keep our eyes open.
Oh, heavens, I hope they don't steal my journal. Or my spellbook. Or my favorite quill. Should I leave the quill behind here? You know, I'm gonna pop back up to the room really quick and grab my second favorite quill.
No, just tuck it into the inside pocket like I showed you. It'll be fine.
Yes. Okay. I trust you, dear.
Until you forget to wipe off the tip and then it leaks ink all over the front of your clothing and then it's another mishap that has happened.
Yes, well, that's why I tend to wear black robes. I've made that mistake before, and it helps hide that.
He's made it a few times before.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome, love.
Well, off in search of food, shall we? Hey,
We
I
will
must
follow
ask,
you.
your maul or mace with the carrots, did you forge that yourself? Did you find it?
No, I'm from
Later.
Hidey Hole. I'm the Hoppendon family, if you've heard of it.
No, but fascinating.
That's actually a
Cool.
flail, Sarloth. Are you interested in melee weaponry?
Oh heavens, no. Weapons. Ah, gosh, no. That's, no. No weapons in the library, I'm afraid.
Oh, then,
I honestly
You might
wouldn't
be
trust him with
interested in-
much more than a letter opener.
I wouldn't even
might
trust
be
myself with a letter
interested in
opener.
hearing that a mace actually has one staff, like a scepter, with the carrot would be on the end for bonking. And
Oh.
when it has a chain, it is a flail.
Bonking, you say? I'm gonna scribble that down too.
A very technical term, bonking.
Yes, it seems so. I'm not much one for melee weapons, so I trust your judgment on this one.
It just does some extra bonking after the bonking has occurred, or you can just use the it. And you can be very creative with this. But no, I didn't forge it myself. I come from Hidey Hole. It's a place we're all underground. We've got giant ants that do work for us. It's a whole lifestyle. You'd have to be there to see. You should put it on your bucket list.
Well, the giant ants do sound quite fascinating.
Next time you're there, when you're at the tavern, ask about milking them.
Yeah, find out how
Oh.
many ants you milked that day.
Heavens. No, I would rather not be that close. But
That would be fascinating.
study from a distance would be, yes, quite lovely.
She just beams up at Tsena after making the ant milking joke. It's definitely an inside joke.
Well, you folks seem to know the way to food, so we'd be happy to follow you.
Well, we happen to be privy with the market. Some of the clothing there is quite remarkable. You should take a look. There's a new artist, Hoppendon, actually.
Oh. Darling, you could replace that robe that's still smoldering from the last encounter.
Do you
know you
really want
like-
me to replace that robe, or would you like me to fix it? You haven't
I-
exactly made up your mind.
I know you like the battle damage, dear.
He does stuff for more uh, like inner city, maybe inner town. Maybe
Yes, that
Urbanware. Yeah.
It sounds like something we could check out.
but I don't remember him. I think that was where we were before, Senna, not here. I don't remember seeing it at the market.
Oh, I'm sure he's gotten this far as well.
never hurts to check.
Okay, I mean, I'm always down to go look. I support my boy. I have 12 children, by the way. Many of them are throughout the land.
I was
And there
wondering,
we have it. The gig is
considering
up.
the,
I was just trying to get
last
you
name.
guys to contribute to her son.
Well, we definitely can go take a look. I don't see a problem with that, darling.
I would be happy to. Always happy to support a local business.
Flora's getting a little fidgety, so she's definitely out the door, and she's looking for a place to go, either to eat or to be able to actually like do her bakery stuff.
Right, I would be scanning just above the skyline for any signs of festivities, because wherever we see streamers or something like that is probably going to be where the market and food is.
Yes, and so as you leave the clam into the Keelbreaker's Alley, that kind of familiar navigation kind of comes back to you as though you would take the northern route or an immediate right, and if you head down that way, you can actually see some of the stalls from Saressa's Exchange just as you exit. The cobblestone street kind of covered in more footsteps than, again, you had last night or yesterday. There is throngs of people that are just coming in and out. Most of them, again, seemingly touristy, very wide-eyed about the festival decorations that are going up or have been already placed. You can hear some people that are just like, oh, it's so quaint when they set up all this stuff for us. As though it's themselves that are the ones that this entire exchange is for. There is, as you look back towards the clam, you can see a large sign that says full, no vacancy. And you head down towards Saressa's Exchange itself. And it is abound and a buzz with hundreds of people that are coming in and out, coming from the shallows, jumping into the Saressa's Exchange, kind of walking through the beach. Some people are, you can see two lovers that are hanging out along the large wall that separates the crest from the shallows, kind of hugging each other close, just enjoying the sights, kind of pointing here and there about some of the animals that are flying overhead. The sound of cacophony of voices that are kind of bouncing off the waves, as well as the structures kind of carry themselves and mix with the more joyful singing and bands that are playing more up towards the crest. It seems that there is joy and a lot of boisterous exchange that is happening throughout the city of Nylora. And upon walking to the beach itself, the shallows before it hits into it, there's a riot of colors and sounds and aromas of various pastries and breads and cooked meats and vegetables that kind of lull and carry themselves across, that mix with the sea salt and the smell of different spices and people and perfumes and other oils that people have been masking their stenches with. And you come upon where the large way up from the shallows that hits up into the crest themselves that you had brought your wagon down in, Miidyr and Sarloth, as well as you, Tsena and Flora, kind of walked down this area. And as you look into Saressa's Exchange, I need everyone, because you also see across the way, you see a... let's go ahead and have Snarf and Basura describe their characters as they're walking along.
Sound.
Well, right, those things help, don't they? Snarf's this big, towering orc, half-human type feller, and he's adorned with this colorful, like, splash of color tank top, with these just cool ass like jean pants with like a wallet chain on it, and he's got some not gloves, but like some bracers, I guess you could call them, like leather bracelets on his hands. And he's definitely got a pretty big axe on his hand that looks like for show. Looks like a piece of art show for like something. He's a wrestler, so it's my wrestling axe. And
Gardens standing next to him. You see a kind of tall, skinny. At first, he looks like a Triton or a fish person, but you notice he's red, which is very weird. He also has white hair, and he's like in full like pirate swashbuckler outfit. He's got some baggy gray pants with stripes down the sides, the classic boots. He's wearing like a white flowy shirt, and he's got this heavy black trench on that's just kind of crusted in salt.
Yeah, Snarf seems to be a little, at the moment, covered in some, little bit of thick layer of cloudy meniscus at the moment. Oh no, I cleaned it off. Just kidding. You see anything on me? It's ectoplasm, I swear.
I need everyone to go ahead and make a perception check, please. Oh, nice. Nat 20. 19, 16, 13. Everyone seems to be doing pretty good.
Hold on, I'm going. Oh, there's this thing in my way. Get out of here.
Question for
guys-
DM.
Yeah, what's up?
Would I recognize Snarf's character from Dill Hoppenbottom, being he's a brawler and he would look up to Snarf?
Probably not. Snarf is not famous in this area yet. He is kind of well known within Nylora, but that's about it currently.
Yeah, he's from Canada.
Yeah, if
very,
now,
very famous.
yeah,
Canada.
in Canada and the yes, totally you would know him.
Well, shucks. I tried.
Yes. Okay, so let's see here. Everyone pretty much, yeah. So, the festive energy of Ceresa's Exchange kind of feels joyful, jovial, vibrant. And some of you, especially Tsena, Miidyr, Basura, there's a few figures that seem to be kind of moving with kind of jarring stiffness, and some of the other festival goers kind of look at them and kind of either pull away from them or move quickly away as they're making these strange faltering steps. Especially, let's see here, Tsena and Basura. Basura, you see that they are coming out from underneath their clothes, covering their hands, and kind of bubbling up from their neck is the mucus that you all are covered in yourselves, kind of pulling and pooling out slowly. Tsena, you see this strange translucent mucus that kind of glistens on their skin, kind of clinging their clothes with this weird viscosity. But your eyes are drawn to this incredibly old man who seems to be kind of a fishmonger in a way. They're wearing fishing clothes, and they have a hat that has some tackle that seems to be kind of sewn into the top of it. And he kind of looks almost sick, and he kind of hunches over a bit, and the mucus just kind of erupts from his clothes and from around the exits and just explodes onto everyone around, and people start screaming, kind of moving away, and he lunges towards them, and his movements are jerky, desperate, his eyes chillingly blank. Another one immediately explodes in that kind of same mucus, clumsy, erratic, a young female that just shrieks in an inhuman-like voice and lashes out at the crowd. Another one that seems to be a scholar, covered in clothing that's is made for some of the upper echelon of people, again begins to erupt in this kind of mucus that covers everything, and lunges at some go by that you can see the claws just kind of grow almost instantly as it slashes against some of the festival goers, and blood starts to taint into the water itself as it floats up to the top. They rush forward as everyone starts leaving and screaming, heading towards the shore and the road heading up into the shallows themselves and the crest. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
I have a question, if I may.
Yep.
Would Sema's background allow him any insight into this ectoplasm? Has he seen something like this before? This mucus?
No.
Okay.
No, this is something... I mean, not like this. You've of course heard of mucus, but not... This is a very interesting and...
It's a ghost. Ectoplasm, I swear. Oh, this is pretty.
I like this map.
Yeah, I like it.
So I rolled a
It's a
6.
good map. Nice map.
Good
I
man.
like it.
Oof, the paladins.
We're about to get into combat again, aren't we, dear?
Just stick close. Well, stay back, really.
All right. Then I got a 5. That's all I needed. I'm not sure why I didn't auto-populate. Okay, and first up, Basura. You are up.
I'm going to yell over at Snarf. If I start changing like that, knock me out. I'll do the same thing for you.
Yeah, what the heck? Did you
And
see that?
then-
They erupted.
And then, does it look like there's anybody close to us being attacked by the mucus monsters?
They are... So the mass majority of people are rushing out. And so they are now moving towards the shore, following a bunch of people. Are you able to see the tokens themselves? They're a little bit
Yeah.
kind of mucusy, so they're kind of blending in with the water.
Okay, there they are.
Am I counting right? Do I see 5?
Yes, you are counting correct.
All right, I'm going to move closer to the water, kind of getting right next to Snarf.
You can move your token. You should be able to move. Yep, there you go.
And then I guess I'm going to fire my... Actually, I'm going to throw one of my daggers at the one to the far right.
Okay. Yeah, 17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. So 5 damage. So as you chuck your dagger at it, hits directly into the skin. You can see as it slaps in, some of the mucus just kind of flies off from the hard impact of the dagger into their left chest, kind of pushing them back a little bit as their eyes are kind of blank and whited over as they look at you.
All right, then I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get closer to him, so...
So you did 5, 10, 15, 20, so you got another 10. You could also bonus action dash, if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go dashy towards him.
Okay.
And that would be it for my turn.
Okay. Sarloth, you're up.
Sweet. I'm gonna pull like a black book out of my, like a small book out of my pocket that says Warlock Spells and You, and start flipping through it and go, I know a way, I have a way to solve this, dear. I've been learning. I flip to a page and make this weird kind of gesture with my hands, out of the magicians, and cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay, which one are you attacking?
This one right here. I don't know how to ping it. Hang on.
You just gotta click and hold.
This fellow right there.
Okay. Yes, a 23 definitely hits.
Excellent. And I drop the book down and
9 force damage. As you erupt, how does your Eldritch Blast look?
I would say that it takes on a similar color to Miidyr, so it's kind of that bluish hue.
So as you reach out your hand, as you're reading the book and kind of looking at it at the same time, you can see runes that kind of latch onto your arm and trigger a release of this kind of indigo-like energy that flies out towards the creature. It hits into him, and you can kind of see that movement back as more of this mucus just flies out and is replaced by more of this thick coating as it starts to kind of almost slide off of them and create more of these puddles. As the waves that are pushing it in on the shore, you can see the mucus just cover where the water meets the sand.
Oh heavens, that worked far better than I thought it was going to. I hit one, dear.
Well done, love.
And that'll be it.
Okay. So it is now their turn. Let's see here. This is gonna go 1, 2, 5, up to Snarf. 5, 2, 3. This one's gonna go straight, and this one as well. Five. Okay, and it is going to, as you get to, let's see here, Snarf and Tsena, as they get closer to you, they are running and just sloughing off. It almost looks like their skin is starting to swell and puff with the amount of liquid that is starting to fill their tissues. Tsena, it is going to attempt to reach out and slash at you. And as it does, it hits against your armor and scratches against it. No damage, but there is some scrapes along your armor. And then we're going to move Snarf. It's going to do the same thing. Lash at you with these large claws. And it just barely missed. As you just kind of dodge out of the way, and it kind of slashes at your brightly colored shirt and kind of slashes a few little things into it as you feel the mucus. And then there's a slight recognition. It senses kind of the mucus on you, and there's a hesitation. And Basura, there is one that hits, and you are going to take 4 slashing damage and 2 necrotic damage as you feel it dig into, as your long jacket he goes underneath and slashes up and hits the lower part of your belly, scratching through, slicing into the hard silvery barbs. You're going to use your reaction?
I'm going to try to.
Yeah, go ahead and speak out if you're going to use an action.
Okay, yes, I'd like to prevent that hit if I may.
Yep, he's going to roll again. That's still a hit. He got 1 less than he did before. Good use on that, though.
I'll give advantage to Flora.
The silvery barbs, Okay, so what were you doing for the silvery barbs? Were you not trying to have him re-roll?
No, it's a 2-part spell. It causes him to re-roll, and the after effect of casting the spell.
Okay, there you go.
Can give
Okay.
advantage to one person, right?
Nice.
Okay, so Flora, you have the advantage on your next roll. Yeah, and Basura, the hit takes you. And that is all of their turn. Let's go to the next one. Miidyr, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to. I'm just gonna step here and fire on this guy right here by Tsena.
Okay.
And let's see here. 22.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 22 hits.
Okay.
Nice roll.
8 damage. No, 12 damage.
No sneak attack. Oh yeah, it is sneak because there's someone within 5 feet. So, yeah, 12 damage. You there's this obvious like hollow log-like sound as the arrow sucks into their chest, and it falls down.
Sweet.
Excellent shot, darling.
Then I'm going to just move in front of my husband here a little bit.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Snarf, you're up.
Alright, there's a big guy in front of me, so I'm gonna take out my weapon and I'm gonna put my thumb in front of it and I'm gonna bash the ground as I attempt to bash it on his forehead with my thumb covering it. And do a non-lethal attack.
Non-lethal. Okay. Oh, wrestling chair.
It's a metal wrestling chair. Whack!
Okay. So you pull it.
Like just over his forehead. Oh no. But I'm gonna turn the chair around so like the U-shaped part, but I'm gonna have my thumb in front of it, and I'm gonna hit the ground and mimic the sound of it hitting his forehead. And I'm gonna bam!
You slam your foot onto the sand to try to get that nice thud, and crack! You hit that 10 damage, and it just kind of hits his head, and he kind of curls over a little about you, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is not friend, and you can see like a little bit of blood just kind of coming down, just a bit.
I'll taunt. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'll taunt in on my turn.
That's fine. That's okay. You taunt. You're like, come on, motherfucker, come on.
Come on.
Flora, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna move up just a little bit here.
It was very epic battle music.
Alright, after moving up, I'm going to cast Bless
All right.
on Tsena, Sarloth, and Miidyr.
All right.
And I really can't do anything else, so that's me. I'm done.
Perfect. I'm just getting the token so everyone knows they have bless. Flora, you're concentrating. Tsena, you're up.
Oh, you're muted.
I will. Thank you. I will use my action to dash.
Okay.
So 60 feet will be about there. Good. And bonus action. I will give a wink over to Snarf, and I'll say, I like that garb, and give you some bardic inspiration.
You now have the bardic inspiration, Snarf.
Nice. Wait till you see me in my wrestling getup.
And I'll be done.
Back up to the top. Basura, you're up.
Stabby stab.
Yeah, 23 definitely hits.
Nice roll.
All right, so I'm gonna pull the dagger that's in his chest, pull it out, and stab him again.
Stab it into him again, right into his neck, and
No additional damage because it was the exact same spot.
oh, dang it, no more. And you
Right in
stab
the same
directly into
hole.
their neck, and you hit their jugular, and instead of blood, it's this kind of green algae-filled fluid that just kind of gushes out, and they fall down and collapse as the waves start pushing their lifeless body to the shore.
Ew.
All right, then I'm gonna slog back towards Snarf. and then I'm just gonna stab that one in the back.
Okay, so it's going to be an offhand dagger, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was a natural one.
Nah.
So you do. Oh, a natural 1. Okay, let me get into my percentage dice. That is a 61. You were fine. The nat 1 does not do any bad things for you. You go to kind of slice in, and you think you're aiming for flesh, but the way that the mucus is hanging off, you just slash through mucus. And does that end your turn?
Does he
Yeah,
get advantage because he's got that guy cornered with me?
Yeah, I do flanking. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll again, that's fine.
We got this guy in the ropes. We'll double team him.
Again, yeah, you're trying. you're saying nope, just kind of
That is
slash.
a 100% increase, though.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Oh,
That is
jeez.
true.
Oh man,
Too
funny.
It's a
All
moral
right,
victory.
Sarloth, you're up.
I'm going to move up next to my wife. And then I will Eldritch Blast this fellow right here.
Okay.
I flip through the book again, but I make the hand motions faster because I'm starting to learn it.
Yes, 15 does hit. You also have Blessed. You can roll a 1d4 with that as well to add to it.
Okay. 1d4 to the damage or the
To attack. It's an attack roll.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but the 15 already hits, so you can go ahead and just roll damage. Yeah, 9 force damage. As again, it seems like the runes this time, as you start singing it, they kind of appear on your skin before the book starts to transfer words over. So as though your body's getting used to this spell flowing through you, and it's tapping into your own magic energy, and you unleash that indigo-like bolt that slams into them, splashing the mucus kind of all over the place. And it kind of just leans over, and you can see the bludgeoning and the force of it is this massive bruise on its chest, just kind of sloughing off layers of skin.
Oh heavens! Sorry about your robes. And that'll be it.
Okay, it is their turn. One's gonna move forward to 1, 10, 15, and up to here. Tsena, 2 are attacking you. That is a hit for the first one, and a miss for the second one. The first one reaches in and slash, and as you go to try to parry it off, it goes under into your...
I'm going to silvery barbs and hope that he misses. Let me... Yeah.
Okay. Silvery barbs. Let me go ahead and re-roll. Same roll again. 19. So it is going to do, as it reaches under your armor, it's going to do 4 slashing and 2 necrotic damage as it reaches under your armpit, your axillary region, and scrapes up as you feel the warm blood starts to leak down on your left side. The other one attempts to try to slash you, and you're able to bring up your arm in the other way, and it slashes against your gauntlet, sliding off. And then it is going to attempt to attack Snarf again. Oh, that is a nat 1. Is bad things happen? Do bad things happen? That is a 34. Bad things happen. As it goes to try to slice at you, it is so confused, and with the slash that just happened behind it, and it just kind of slips on its own mucus. It is now knocked prone.
Nice.
Miidyr, you're up.
Okay, let's move, shall we? 10, 20, 30. Yeah. And I'm gonna shoot this one right here.
Okay.
Let's see. 17.
17 hits.
Okay.
Someone's gonna shout out, "Hey, watch it!"
You're fine. 6 damage. Not much.
6 damage. Okay. So then there's again that hollow log kind of and right into the middle chest as again that weird green algae-filled liquid kind of starts pouring down. And that'll end your turn.
And that'll end my turn, yeah.
Snarf, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to try to body slam this guy in front of me. Now that he's prone, I'm going to pick him up.
All right, go ahead and give me a grapple check.
Grapple, grapple. Do I have that one? Where's that one at? Why am I? What's that one under?
That is, so you have to give an athletics check.
Athletics,
grapple.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oy, 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 oy.
Oh, and that one. Ooh,
Oh, boy,
oof,
oy,
okay,
oy.
let's see if bad stuff happens.
We're both being slipping in this shit.
Ooh,
I'm getting thrown.
you almost got a
Shit.
really bad stuff happens. So as you go to try to grab into them, the mucus kind of, even though he's on the ground, you're trying to pick him up to slam him. You kind of slip it kind of off, and you are now lying on top of him, covered in this mucus.
Oh.
You guys are just
ew.
loving each other, slopping along, getting that mucus, just mucus to mucus connection, bro. Just
That's the best kind of connection.
that is the best kind of connection.
I did not foresee that coming, and I'll pass my turn.
Okay. Next up, Flora.
I'm going to dash up to where Tsena's at and then end my turn because I don't have anything else to do.
Okay. Tsena, you're up.
Okay, yeah, Tsena would immediately try to take down this one that just took an arrow to the chest.
Okay.
So I'm going to swing my glaive at him. And I will use the advantage from my silvery barbs.
You had to have targeted somebody right after. It's not just saved.
Right, but I didn't target anybody with the second one. I thought it was assumed that it was me, but that's okay.
No, it has to be. No, that's fine. I'll let you go ahead and do that. But yeah, whenever you're doing your spell, everything has to resolve. It's kind of like magic.
Okay. 25 to hit.
25 hits.
That's a
Definitely.
good one. Oh, good one.
Should I add the bless?
I mean, if you want.
Damage is just going to be flat.
Yeah, as you bring down it, and you can feel as though there's like no resistance, as though the bones themselves are starting to gellify, and you slice through it, and it kind of just melts down. The body hits the ground, and just pouring out this fluid of green hue and algae that's kind of built up into it onto the sand itself.
Okay, and I think for a bonus action, I'm going to hand out another bardic inspiration. This one to Miidyr.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, he's within 60, yes. And I'll be done.
Okay, Basura, you're up.
I'm going to shake my head a little bit and try to, like, I guess, stab the thing around Snarf.
Okay. It technically has 3/4 cover as Snarf is like smothering it.
Okay, can I shove Snarf off because there is some like mucus contact going on?
You
Yeah,
can
but no.
use can use your help action, but that'll cost you an action in order to do it.
But I'm not helping him, I'm just kind of shoving him.
Then it would be a shove action, which is another action.
I'm just gonna turn around and shoot at the one in front of Flora with my
Okay.
short bow.
Oh yeah, 24 definitely hits. And then 9 and 2, 11. Just right to the back. 11 damage as it hits into the lower right back of the creature itself. As this one has been spending most of the time outside, you can kind of see some of the mucus start to kind of dry up a little bit. Kind of becoming more viscous and more gel-like. As it hits, instead of splashing, it's now kind of breaking apart like you would do pull apart putty.
And then I'm going to, I don't know, if it's on the ground, does it have opportunity of attack?
No. It is knocked prone at this particular moment. I will not give it an opportunity attack, especially with Snarf on top of it.
I'm smothering him.
They also don't have a very high intelligence right now, so.
I'm gonna roll, I'm gonna step back and move. I'm gonna split the distance between the two.
Okay.
And that would be my action.
Okay. Sarloth, you're up.
Sweet. I'm gonna move up slightly. 25, 30, and kind of down, and then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast again.
Oh, yeah, you guys are rolling like freaking champs. 23 definitely hits.
Okay. I feel like I don't even really open the book this time. Like, I got it down pat at this point.
Yep, especially with your quick ability to memorize things, yeah. 10 force damage, before you even try to open the book, it's as though the weave is anticipating you to cast the spell again, and your arm just kind of glows that indigo and unleashes that blast as it hits the creature and just rips kind of the top part of it off, just clean, and it slams into the sand.
So sorry about the goo on your clothing. Sorry. Hopefully that comes out of fur. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. The one that is underneath Snarf, it is going to attempt to claw you while you're on top of it.
Tickle my butt cheeks.
He's going to try to tickle your butt cheek.
Thank
Yeah, that's a hit. And no, why did you roll a d20 for damage? No.
That's not big damage.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You take 3 slashing damage. And what is that? And 2 necrotic damage as it digs its claws deep into you and then rips them out. As again, you can feel blood start to pool down on top of you, sitting on top of the mucus, making it more slick and smooth. And then we go to Miidyr.
All right, I'm just gonna shoot. No, I'm gonna move up first to there and shoot this guy over here.
It'll be he has 3/4 cover because Snarf's on top of him, and he's prone, so you would have disadvantage.
But you do have bless.
But you do have a D4 though, if you'd like to get that going.
I have faith in you, honey.
All right, I'll try and shoot him.
Okay, go for it. Disadvantage, but you get a
Do
D4.
All right, so
I do believe you
21.
also have bardic inspiration if you wanted to use
Yeah,
it.
you can also
for
have Bardic.
16,
For a 16,
and then I have a D6 or a D4.
a D6 I believe is for Bardic.
Bardic. I'll do the Bardic.
And you automatically get a D4.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
21.
And then 25.
25. Oh yeah. As you keen in and pull back your bow, as they're kind of wrestling, and Snarf is like, "Oh, get off me, you son of a slicker! Oh, that's my cheek!" And shoo, you unleash the arrow right as they're lifting up their arm, and you hear that right into underneath into their lung. You hear it pop and just fluid, and then Snarf, you just feel the body go limp. Go ahead and roll damage. He only had 2 hit points left. I think you're gonna.
I would hope so with a d6 plus 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, your minimum is 2.
That's 6, honestly. Stress.
Oh, look, you did the minimum, 2. Okay, so yeah, so and it just kind of sits down, Snarf, as you feel it kind of compress like squishing soft angel food cake that's wet. And it just kind of goes.
That's a 1, 2, 3. You're out of here.
And we are now out.
I'm gonna walk over and help Snarf up.
Well, that was interesting.
I'm gonna crouch down near like the nearest corpse of it and start like pulling a magnifying glass out of my pocket and be like, "Oh, fascinating! I've never seen one of these before." Start taking notes.
I'm gonna see if anybody needs any healing.
Oh, that guy got me in my butt
husband.
cheek.
I'm gonna move towards my husband. Just kind of
I'm gonna check the corpse next to. Oops, sorry.
Ah, that's my butt cheek.
You're good. You're fine.
Tsena's gonna run out to the shoreline and strip off his armor and start washing himself thoroughly.
Okay.
This mucus is nasty, and you see some blood coming down from the water off his chest. Just trying to clean everything up.
It's a good idea. I got a little slimy in that little wrestling match.
I look up as Miidyr approaches with like a jeweler's thing in my. Oh, hello, darling. Very
Hello, love.
goopy. Fascinating.
Okay, so who's investigating the bodies themselves?
I'm checking the 2 on our side.
Okay. And then we also have Sarloth inspecting. Sarloth, go ahead and give me, you can do nature, medicine, or history, whatever one. Each one gives kind of a different description. So history is going to, if you can think about anything in the past that kind of resembles this. Medicine is you're actually going to look at the flesh and things like that to figure stuff out. And then nature is more of like creature based and have we heard of this? Or are there creatures in the ocean that could kind of produce this? So anyone can roll those rolls.
Get a 13 for nature.
Mm-hmm.
So you said nature or what?
Nature, medicine, or history. So many of
Okay.
the lore rolls.
'18 history.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, it looks like Sol, Tsena, Miidyr. I'm just waiting on Basura to make your roll.
Oh, I'm just looting. I'm not really checking.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So let me go over to, let's see here. Sarloth, as you're looking into this and your catalog of knowledge of animals and creatures, there's a lot of things that kind of create mucus, but to have this type an amount is you have not, in your studies of nature, nothing has really clicked into what this could cause or what this is. Tsena, with your medicine check, this is obviously some sort of cellulitis. This is a lot of fluid inside of these people, and it seems to kind of be flooding and replacing any and all fluids. And you can, as you're kind of going over the body, you can see like towards their neck kind of flaps of skin, like that looks like they have kind of been slitted and they're almost gilled. And then Miidyr, with your history check, there have been accounts of people that have gone into the ocean and they are lost for many years, and then they're found later washed up on shore, kind of in this bloated, weird, not like normal, like dead at sea, but like almost became part of the sea. And it's like they had lived in the sea for the time that they had been missing. There are stories of people that have recovered from this, and all memory was gone. They don't remember any of it, but their physiology seemed to have been permanently changed, and they had to live the rest of their life in the ocean itself.
Where's the brainiac? Smart man, where are you? And I'm going to
yes,
try to hail Sarloth.
Hi, hello. Sorry about
Come take a
the
look at this.
goop on your
Miner's
armor.
just poking one of the dead ones with like the end of her sword.
Do you see these things on the? Is he turning into a Vidalkin?
It's possible. I've never seen that before nor heard of it, but well, stranger things have happened.
Interesting. Have you ever heard of anything like this going on?
No, it's a very strange phenomenon. Not something I've noted of. I do have.
It's happened before. I just shout over the sand.
Well, I'm sure it's an everyday occurrence.
Oh, and
gonna
it's
look over
also
at
kind
Snarf.
of like they can heal from it almost. Well, at least their minds. Kind of sad though.
I'm gonna look over at Snarf and be like, "Do you want to tell him what happened to us last night?"
Yeah, let me grab this cool hat. This old man had a cool hat on. I kind of want to keep it for a souvenir.
I'm gonna holler. Yeah, that was kind of us yesterday. Like, we cleaned it off. I think we're fine.
Do I got it? Is there something in my teeth?
I'm
No,
gonna
it-
tell his teeth.
Maybe.
Does not appear so.
I don't know.
I'm definitely gonna take a moment to go and try to wash this stuff off of me.
Okay, as you all are kind of walking around, Basura, as you're looking through the bodies, there's no real wealth. It's just bloated skin. You can see places where people would have kept their coin purse, but the water had done its damage and eroded a lot of the natural materials or the things that they would have been wearing. So at one point they might have carried some sort of items, but a lot of that has just been washed away, destroyed, not cared about. There's as you look back towards the crest itself and the long path that leads down, you can see the people that know him, the Kelp Warden, running down with some of the Kelp Guard behind him, just kind of rushing onto the sand. And we will take our break there, because it has been an hour and a half.
Is that the guy that gave us directions?
He was the guy that you gave your donkey and wagon to.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Senior Warden.
All right, we'll be right back, everyone.
Okay.
We are back. Okay. So we already had we had someone else coming in down from the south part of the shore. Walking forward, it was the kelp warden himself, who has these long tendrils of seaweed that's woven into their gray hair, with a couple of the kelp guards who are more of the standing protection of the city itself, rush down and run up into the beach as you guys are cleaning your armor, kind of looking at the bodies around. As he rushes forward, it looks like the first person is going to be Miidyr in this particular instance.
Oh, joy.
Anyways, what's happened? You know, what's going on? What is, we heard of running people.
Yeah, these, well, they kind of look like dead jellyfish now. These people,
this is
started
gross.
attacking people and trying to, like, force their mucusy goop into them. I've heard of it before. I mean, like, they kind of, when people go missing in the sea and they come back, they're kind of like this. But yeah, they were attacking people, so we decided to step in.
Well, it's a little strange. Are you all right? Is everyone okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
Can I get some of that paste stuff that you have for my chest?
He seems hurt.
Yes, of course we can definitely get you some of that. But did they come? Did you guys see anything that happened? Like, did they come down? Did they?
It just sort of rose up out of the water.
Yeah, they can't really survive outside of water, so I'm not sure why they were coming out of it, but yeah, they seem to be chasing the people who were running from the ocean up here.
And actively trying to kill us, but, you know.
Yes. This is strange.
Most of us.
Normally, this type of phenomenon is rather rare. Doesn't happen in this area very often, and when it does, it's usually maybe 1, not 5.
Mm-hmm. Rather rare, you say. So
Yes.
you have seen this happen before.
Not to this extent. Normally, it's one person that's gone missing for quite a few years. This is and kind of kicks one of the bodies. This is one of the fishmongers down at the shallows, a little bit deeper. He has not been missing. Actually, I think I talked to him a few days ago before the festival happened, and everything started getting ready.
When you do encounter something like this happening, who is it that examines the bodies?
Well, typically it's the priestess over at the cove. Usually, we take the bodies over to there, but the problem is that they're usually alive. We've never had to kill any of these things. This actually looks more. It's a lot different than the one I experienced.
Well, a few of them exploded.
Yes,
Well,
that is a. Huh.
I'd like to talk to this priestess, if I may. It's possible that she might know something about this mucus that might help us before we likewise are turned into these gill-necked snail carcasses.
Do you think that the mucus itself is the reason for changing?
Well, you see right here, I did a look at the mucus here, and it seems to be replacing the fluids in their body. It's some form of cellulitis. So my guess is yes, the mucus is invasive.
Well, then yes, we should probably get their bodies over to the cove itself. I think that's a great idea.
I'm gonna hop up and quickly check all the bodies to see if any of them is Jekka.
No, none of them are Jekka.
Then I'm gonna look over at the Kelp Master and be like, last night we went out into the surf with Jekka, and I think one of them took her too.
Yes, I have. Jekka did not report to her station this morning to help with the festival, which is quite odd. I figured maybe there was something going on, but if she's involved in this, then maybe the Tritons were right then.
Do you have any of your guards patrolling the coastline?
Typically during the festival we have people that we need most of them here in town. Occasionally we will send them. Normally we do, but the routes have been diminished and shortened in order to
You might
make
want to
sure.
rethink not having one at least patrolling up and down the coastline here because we now have some dead citizens.
He's
Yes.
green. A green man.
Yes. No, I agree. We are we definitely going to have to get to figure out what this is. I mean, I'm not sure if this is an isolated incident. Is this going to continue? I'm not sure. Does anyone here you look like a very unique bunch of folk. Are any of you a cleric or a researcher by any chance that knows
Oh.
about these things?
Well, I don't know a lot, but I am a researcher.
I know a bit about the history of them.
All right. Well then, yes. I say I'll get some of my guard to take these bodies out to the cove, and if you wish to follow them, you can. I'm going to need to get some of the people calmed down for the festival, as a lot of them are now starting to spread, and fear is starting to get into it. So I'm gonna have some of my guards kind of keep everything down and controlled. So if you need anything from me, I'm more than likely going to be trying to make sure that the festival continues as planned.
Yes, does seem the ideal current situation.
Yes. And he calls over a couple of his guards and starts pointing at the bodies, and they're just kind of like unsure. Well, I mean, I'm not sure how the looks like the mucus is kind of drying up now. I'm not sure. Yes, just pick it up. You're going to the cove anyway. And so they kind of pick up the body pieces and start carrying it down the shore towards the cove.
I know we haven't formally met, you two, but I overheard you say that this happened last night. You lost someone. I'd recommend that anybody who was touched by this mucus come with us to the cove just in case.
I mean, there's a priestess, so I'm hoping she's gonna be able to heal me.
How bad do they look? Do these two newcomers look?
They got some pretty good wounds. I wouldn't say that they're like dying on death's doorstep, but they're definitely not looking good.
I'd say about 15 out of 21.
Yeah, I'm about, I think 15 out of 21 is a good description for myself as well. I have a big slash across my chest.
My butt cheeks.
I'm gonna walk up to both of them. I can't heal, but let me help. And I'll cast mend to repair their clothing. Oh, you're still bleeding through it. Well, at least it's fixed now.
Always trying to help.
That's what I do best, darling.
It really is.
I do lay on hands, 5 points to both Basura and Tsena.
You are?
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to prestidigitate the mucus off of our respective clothing and armor.
Okay. Easily
and
done.
See if it comes clear or not.
Yep, it does. And the warden and all the guards are heading back up. What are you all doing?
I'm gonna follow.
To the priest.
Yeah, same.
I'll scoop some of the slime into like a bottle and then scribble notes in my journal as I follow behind them.
And I'll walk beside him.
Flora's gonna take a moment, look back at the water, and just kind of whisper to herself, Lotus, we made it to the ocean. And then follow everybody else.
There's this kind of really distant feeling of reverence that you feel
By the way, my name's Basura. This is Snarf. He's from Canada.
Basura
Canada.
Snarf, nice to meet you.
I've
name's
never
Tsena.
heard of Canada.
It's north, very far north. Cold, very cold.
Apparently, they eat something called poontang.
Poontang, and they got beers.
Poontang?
They got beers. Oh, almost got it.
Sarloth is scribbling so fast in this journal at this point that it's like it's gonna catch fire. Trying to spell out poo tang.
Do you think it has 2 O's or 1? Flora's just like watching you, right?
Apparently, it's very healthy, and they put it on everything. And there's something called meese.
Huh. Fascinating. What is a meese?
Lots of horns. Like I have one horn, they got lots of horns. Big, big bodies. 4
Oh.
hooves, and a tail.
I hear that poo-tang is actually a delicacy. It's rare. You have to first find the poo and then rip its tang off. And it's very difficult, but once you've got the tang, cooking it should be simple.
Sounds horrible.
More so than the maple syrup.
Sarloth is actively noting all of this down. Word for word.
Definitely. Good stuff.
As you make your way down the shore, following the kelp guards carrying it, the squishy bodies. Sometime as they're walking, you can see a finger will fall off and kind of hit the sand a little bit, and they keep walking.
Dodge that finger.
But as you turn away, kind of from the frantic heart of the festival, and along the coast, more northeast, past the large copper tower known as the Lightning Rod, which is the lighthouse for Nylora. Basura and Snarf having their encounter here just last night. Towards as you keep going, a cove kind of dips into the coast and dips out, and there seems to be a building or a structure that has been built within underneath where the ocean water has kind of foamed up and pushed into this recess. And as you make your way down there, the guard do as well. The path kind of winds its way around, leading into the cove itself. And it's kind of a promontory overlooking the ocean a little bit from where it has been pushed into it. And its form kind of echoes that of seashells kind of spiraling along the shore. The walls of like weathered stone and shimmering pearlescent scales are kind of sculpted into these swirling and wave patterns. And the roof seems to be crafted from translucent scales that shimmer in the sunlight. And the air kind of carries this heady fragrance of salt and incense and the soft, subtle, blooming water lilies that kind of sit along a central, almost river that kind of flows down into the ocean itself. There's a hushed reverence that hangs in the air as sunlight filters through the translucent ceiling, creating a dappled underwater-like effect upon the smooth stone floors. There's intricate carvings and reliefs that kind of depict Terra's legends of calming storms, guiding lost sailors, and the deep bond with creatures of the ocean. There is a priestess in flowing sea green robes that's kind of moving quietly, tending to simple altars adorned with coral and offerings of driftwood. A grand statue of Terra, sculpted from gleaming mother of pearl, seems to be in the middle of this large area. There is a few sailors here that seem to be giving thanks for safe passage. Some merchants are passing through, asking for blessings. A young Triton woman leaves a delicate necklace of woven kelp, a typical plea for protection, for someone who ventures beneath the waves. And there's this kind of moment of tranquility that hushes and fills the room, kind of juxtaposed to the joyous chaos of the festival and the encounter you just had. But there is a connection between Nylora, its people, and the ocean that feels ancient, and kind of a constant reminder of the web and weave that is connected through all these people and this place. And you focus back on the priestess herself, and you can see that she is a Shorai, and her heritage is evident as her skin has become more shimmering and has slight hardness, as well as the webbed hands. Her skin got a nice twilight blue, kind of shimmering beneath her sea green robes. They swirl up in currents. She has very lithe arms, as behind her ears you can see the development of non-usable gills that seem to be forming. Her hair is kind of a deep black, with that is woven with strands of delicate sea anemones and urchins. And she rises as your party and the guards walk forward with these bodies. And she steps forward off of her, away from some of the altars. What have you brought me? And the guards kind of sit down and kneel and hand off the bodies. These were found attacking some of our villages during the festival. And this group, they helped protect and give and make sure that they did not make it further than the shore itself. And she looks back at your group. There's a look of respect, and she nods. Very well.
Wave.
She looks powerful.
Miidyr gives a bow, knowing how this sort of thing works.
Yes.
Well met.
So, what can you tell me about what you saw? Unexperienced.
For the past couple weeks, there's been a glowing green creature that's been hanging out like on the shores. And last night, Snarf, I'm gonna motion towards Snarf, and I went to investigate, and it kind of entranced us and took us into the ocean. And when we woke up this morning, we were kind of covered in that same goop that was on these things. And they seem very similar to the thing that we had an interaction with last night.
Alright, were you the only two that happened to experience this?
No, Jack was with us too, and she's yet to be found.
I also think a few of us have mucus that was transferred onto us from the battle, and I do believe that it has some contagious properties. I don't know if you've experienced anything like that from the living people that you've examined.
Well, typically when this is a different transformation than what I have experienced before, and normally that's typically a not a death sentence. It looks like these bodies here were not meant to last much longer. And she reaches down and kind of picks up the mucus.
You might be interested to know that at the beginning they seemed to rush up on people who were just festival goers and explode outward onto them with their mucus just bubbling up and frothing forth at extreme rates.
Projectile vomiting, essentially.
And then he starts
It's really
lunging
quite
at people.
unpleasant.
It seems that their this mucus is well, I guess it is as the Tritons have been faring. Do you Basura, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You seem to be a little bit of a unique variety, having red skin.
Yeah, I'm kind of from far away, little place called Bikini Bottom.
Mm. Where did you, you said Bikini Bottom. How, Anyway, it seems there is a old tale that the Tritons like to tell of the changing of tides, the ocean switching from liquid to solid, and kind of ending all of sea life, as it were. I don't take this more than a myth itself. But there is a mention of a blood-skinned Triton that would initiate said myth. And it just piques my interest with some of the things that they've been talking about lately, and seeing you myself.
Is she a priestess of Terra?
She, like herself? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, she's a priestess of Terra.
She is a priestess of Terra.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a history check on the little legend?
Yeah, go for it.
Come on, what is it? Oh, man.
Just gotta connect it through.
Oh.
No, yeah, you have the time that you spent around Tritons seem to be relatively thin, let alone being able to hear some of their myths. And
Alright, well, I wasn't always this color. I had a episode, and I had a small encounter with a shark with blue eyes, and she kind of made me this way not too long ago. I'm trying to say quietly close to her so the guards don't really hear.
The guards
can
themselves
I
have kind of
please
backed
try
off.
and hear that?
Yeah, the guards themselves have kind of just backed off. They're more heading back towards the town themselves. So you can go ahead and give me a perception check to see if you hear that kind of soft-spoken explanation.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
There's you hear basically what they're saying, what he said with the dirty 20, even though it's been kind of put under a little bit. And she kind of leans in and whispers into your ear. Sometimes Tara likes to choose the ones that she thinks need a lesson to be taught.
Yeah, well, her methods really was not that nice. Just throwing it out there.
Tara's not a typically nice deity. Though we like to depict her as such, she's also responsible for storms. The creatures that prey upon anyone that happens to enter the depths. She's also responsible for the destruction of many a thing, the slow and time-worn shores that slowly eat away at the land itself. She's not exactly good. She's not exactly evil either. So, I have heard of these green creatures, although I did not think much of it other than possible townsfolk being a little too drunk or having a little too much fun outside of the tavern itself. But these here bodies, it concerns me, especially with the Tritons bringing up that there is talk that in Liak 2 there is creatures that are acting erratic, kind of not being the same. Some of the more tended to creatures are starting to get worried. seeming to be nervous, as well as some of the Tritons are themselves have been noticing kind of a fog, harder to think. Almost as though something is trying to control or fog or move or something along those lines. It's not everyone, but there's been some talks about it.
Yeah, we kind of experienced that last night on the beach. Everything got really foggy and yeah.
I am just rather confused on why you're still here. If this is what happened and this creature that you're speaking of did this to them, mucus is kind of the same as you said, and Jaka's still missing. Seems interesting.
Have you heard of
that
anybody going out into the water to look for this thing and try to rid the town of this pest?
The thing about it is there's only been about, if I remember correctly, a few people that have seen it, and they've been far between. About, I think the first thing was thinking about a month ago. And the first one was Jaka. She was the first one to see it, and then hadn't seen it since.
So this has been going on for about a month. How many corpses have you examined so far?
None. There has been no corpses.
They brought living people here before.
How many victims of this mucus infection have you taken a look at?
I took care of one maybe 8 or 9 years ago.
And normally their minds come back and they just have to live in the sea, right?
Typically what happens, but it's not, again, I think there's a lot of confusion between what this is and what's being presented. Typically what happens is if Tara, as we call them, takes one to sea, they're given the gift to be able to live under there. Some might also view it as a punishment. But yes, they go missing for quite some time, and then they're found a few years is usually the average, if I remember correctly. A few years later, being completely changed to be only capable of living underwater. But there is no excessive mucus. There is no... I mean, there is a slight change in, I guess, in the mucus, because they do have to have that to protect their skin, but this seems way more excessive than what I had experienced before, and they weren't violent, as you're saying.
Is it like someone is trying to copy what Tara did to those other lost folks?
I mean, there's a lot of connection to it. There's some similarity, but I think it'll take a little bit more either digging in or finding something or thinking before I can, or any of us can make that kind of connection. Tara usually doesn't work in ways like this. This doesn't seem like something that she would do, though she does have surprises now and then.
Snarf, Basura, do you two think that you could show us where you encountered this thing out there?
Oh yeah.
You remember on your walk, they kind of mentioned this is where it happened.
Kind of like where you stumbled upon us.
Yeah, it was just right past the lightning rod.
We might want to go take another look now that we have a few more weapons amongst us.
Do you think we'll need our weapons? Not quite
I
fond
actually
of that.
hope we do, because the alternative would be that it's hopeless.
When you put it like that, I suppose.
Can I ask the priestess what the second sign of the water evaporating of the ocean is? I know the first one is a red Triton. What is the
Right.
second sign?
Second sign is that all fish begin to travel towards the far west, towards the abyss.
As if to flee from it.
Correct.
It seems less than ideal.
Don't worry about that. That's just a temple cat.
We can hear Cleo. Oh my goodness.
But yes, so the the myth itself states that before the sea turns to land, or solidifies, as some of the researchers have gone, even though the Tritons still say that it will be turned to land, as though land. A blood-skinned Triton will come from the sea and initiate the process, or be seen by Tara, and thus start the process of getting everything moved. So all of Tara's creatures that is the second step, will be to evacuate towards the abyss, where Tara can keep it safe and keep them safe.
Fascinating.
If the aquatic life from the bay here ends up evacuating, what would that mean for the foodstuffs that the town uses?
Oh, it'd be devastating for every coastal community I can think of. Anybody that relies on that.
It'd probably kill the economy too. We're gonna have to take a look at this, Flora.
There's be a lot of
property's going to go down too.
Aye, gentrification.
Definitely a lot of folks will have to leave.
Yeah,
Be
well, I
quite
mean,
shame.
Would the Tritons then follow the sea life?
depends. There is two classes of thought on this that's kind of hotly debated, where in the myth it states that the sea life will go towards the abyss, and the land dwellers will move towards the center of each of their land. Tritons themselves, some of them consider them sea life. Well, there's other factions that consider them more of a dual, kind of existing in both worlds, so wouldn't classify themselves as that.
That's fair.
So there are some that believe that, I mean, and if I'm thinking about it right now with the kind of the weird feelings that the Tritons have been talking about, possibly, maybe that is beginning now, but it's more of a fog, not of a getaway.
But like a fog, like someone else is taking over their mind, or just like can't think straight?
I'm not sure. It's just been described as though it's harder to think.
More likely to react on instinct instead.
Well, I'm absolutely famished, and we still haven't had breakfast. We're going to have to prepare before we go do this. So I'd recommend we take a bit of a break and hit up the market, get some food in us, make sure that our weapons and armor are still up to snuff, and head out after this thing.
Sounds right.
Breakfast would be quite pleasing.
Yes, I will go ahead and take the bodies, and I'll get them, some of our younger acolytes here, kind of looking at them, and I'll start pouring through the literature, see if I can't find anything about this that's been written by some of the other priests before me.
I'm looking for a donation bowl or a busking bin or something like that I can drop 5 silver into.
Yeah, there's a small bowl right in front of the statue of Tara.
I'll make sure that the clink is nice and loud.
And just say thank you. Alright, again, I will be here to kind of figure this out, so you are more than welcome to come back anytime. I'll send word if I find anything. Are you going to be staying in town for long? Past looking down the coast, of course.
Might stay for some information. So, I know 4 of us are staying at the clan, right?
Oh.
It does seem like our talents might be needed here.
Especially yours, darling, with your research abilities.
Well, if I judge right from the door that you exited, Flora and I are right across the hall.
So we just need to get Snarf and Basura?
Basura.
Basura set up there then.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like a plan. I'm always down for new adventure, new friendship.
Right? I've always wanted an adventure outside of the wrestling ring.
Yes,
Flora.
adventure. I'll stick with the friendship part if
Oh.
possible. Thank you.
I'll keep you safe. Don't worry about it.
I just gotta let the guys know on the alley that my little spot's open where I've been sleeping.
Yeah, a proper bed would probably be good.
Flora, did you notice the way they were coming onto the shore with those jerky, sort of zombie-like movements?
Yeah, overall, pretty terrifying.
Yeah, we might want to see if these things aren't of the undead persuasion when we next encounter something like this.
You can as you guys are walking out, she kind of overhears that. The priestess. I've already made sure of that. These things were alive when this happened.
Oh, that's quite unpleasant.
Yeah, I was alive. I didn't die. I don't think I died. Am I dead?
No.
Maybe it's
Oh.
more like whatever causes the mucus forces movement.
Hey,
Forces
Snarf,
them
how
to
would
try
you
and
know if
spread
you
it.
were dead?
I don't know. That's the thing.
If I stabbed you, would you be alive?
I mean, I've been hit on the head with a chair before. I'm still alive.
What's the last thing you remember about being alive?
The soothing calls to the wall. It was just felt so relaxing.
Maybe
Oh,
the
he
bonk
might be
on
dead.
your head with that chair actually killed you, and you've been dead since.
I think he
This
might
It's
be
all
dead.
a fever dream.
Am I just
Wait,
a fever
Snarf.
dream?
Who's your greatest enemy?
Oh god, Slick Rick the slime ball.
Alright, if you were dead, you wouldn't hate him as much.
Oh god, I hate that guy.
That's a good call.
Oh god,
Does the
Slick
Salted
Rick, he's such a
Wound have
cheater.
food
He's such a
services?
dirty cheater.
It has as much as a dive bar would have. It has like a few like bar snacks
Slick
that it can get
Rick.
it, but it doesn't have a full
I will
menu.
take you on any time.
No tapas or anything?
No, it's definitely not. That's a little too fancy for the Salted Wound.
And Snarf razzle dazzle transforms.
So
He's
I think
probably not
breakfast
dead.
would be a good idea, first and foremost.
You know, if Slick Rick's in the vicinity, he might be able to hear you if you shouted a threat to him right now.
Oh, you're such a dirty cheater, Slick Rick.
As you yell out, "You're such a dirty cheater!" As you're leaving the temple, it kind of echoes off the smooth stone. Cheater, you're a fucking cheater. As you exit the cove and head down the path to the shore again, you all kind of have a front row seat to the ocean itself. The wind is starting to kind of kick up a little bit. Towards the deep ocean, you can see dark black clouds that are starting to form in the distance.
Well, that seems rather ominous.
No,
Very
no,
well.
that the bird. You didn't see those things back in the alley.
Can I
Yes,
do a nature
Looking
check to
worse.
try and see how far off they are, or when it might when the storm type thing that I'm looking at might be coming toward us?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Miidyr just takes Sarloth's hand as they walk as she looks at the storm.
Oh, nat 20, nice.
Like a
Ah, that's two
snake-like
of them
creature.
today.
Hell yeah.
The calorans.
Yeah.
Yep, Calorans.
We
As
stop
you
on our way into town?
as you're well traveled, especially around places on the coast, as that's probably the easiest way to get around rather than going straight through and going through mountains and desert. You can accurately judge that this storm is more than likely going to hit tonight.
I don't know if you guys want to get out there and take a look at this place before the storm or wait until after, because that's going to be here at nightfall.
It explains the
Might be a
agitation
good
of the
idea.
Chlorans.
And those snake-like creatures on the chimneys.
Yeah, I don't see very well at night, so I'd like to not do it while it's also raining out.
Well, I think our Triton friend here said that it was a glowy thing, so it might be easier to see at night. But then again, if it's also deep into the water, then the dark.
No, it comes right up on the shore. It's
Oh,
very up close and personal.
yeah.
Snarf tried to hit it with a net.
So I'm
It's
guessing
epic.
that worrying about the glow might not be an indicator that we have to be concerned with.
Not yet, anyways.
Well, I'm getting some food, and I'm going to follow
Yes.
my nose into the market.
As you are traveling back on the shore, Snarf and Basura kind of just point out the general area they were at when it happened.
Yeah, somewhere around there it happened.
Green is palsy. I can see this kind of wavy-like kind of guy. It looked like a guy, but kind of like a didn't look like a guy. It didn't have any bones or shape to him. Just kind of slimy and green.
Was he
And he
big like
just-
you or smaller like your friend?
He was quite small, very long, but very wrong. I just
And he came right up here by where the Triton town is?
he was there and he wasn't. He was fast.
Best.
Yeah, the Triton town's kind of deep in the ocean and the abyss.
Did he have any animal-like qualities other than a glow?
Like a jellyfish.
Translucent skin.
Oh,
Really?
fascinating.
You could see his blood vessels and everything?
Like tubulant networks that ran in and out of his arms.
Oh, I want to see this.
It was. I couldn't believe it. It was green and bright, glowy.
Sounds like the stuff nightmares are made of.
Not the wrestling type. You're right. Oh god.
Does that sound anything like what the Lost Ones would have been described as?
Oh, you're talking about the history that you knew?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, this is no. Basically, the history that you've known is that there are people that go out to sea missing, and they come back changed. Like their skin has changed, their form has changed, and that's kind of where you made that connection. Is that these people were in the ocean and they changed. Like they were, from viewing them, they didn't change at that moment. They had already been changed. They were just reacting to something that is happening. And they weren't, and the bright glowing green and translucent skin and things like that, that doesn't match anything about that story that you were talking about and that you talked with the priestess about.
Okay. Alright. I'm done looking for food then. It's not important.
Do we see anything on the beach still from there? From like the glowy thing that they're talking about?
You can make a perception check.
$18.
As you guys are walking on, and you're just doing a brief kind of look one over, and you're closer to the ground than most other people, the vast majority of people. And you're kind of looking around with your magnifying glass and your detective hat on, little ears kind of pushed down to the side. And while not obvious, there is a change, and this doesn't come from you seeing it more than it comes from you feeling it. There is again, that kind of distant feel of taint. Like, your gooch?
Yeah, the chain,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm puckered. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
the swamp crouch.
Yeah, exactly. But of unnatural.
Like undead, or just
No, unnatural.
okay. While I'm digging around in the sand, I'm just gonna be whispering to myself, "Dirty. Oh, it's so dirty. It's not the sand."
As you all walk back into the edge of Nylora, it seems that the festival is slowly going back to its normal fanfare, though the area that you had encountered these creatures is being kind of blocked off, and the merchants themselves are kind of being kept out. That area itself is under investigation, as it were. There's a line of Kelp Guard kind of just asking people to please, hey, go check out the other sides of Ceres's exchange. Right now we had an incident. We're just investigating, making sure everything's safe. And you kind of walk up into the area that you were at originally and start heading up into the shallows area that has the buildings that aren't underwater and has more of the restaurants, the inns, the taverns, and the other places that you can find the points of interest within the shallows. That's not the market itself. And as you're looking down the way, there's a lot more people here than are down in the actual shallows before you get to the deeps. And you see a few names kind of running in. It looks like they have the Coral Respite, which is kind of an inn kind of area. Looks a little bit fancy. Has a lot of really deep pastel colors that are kind of painted around it in these cool coral-like shapes. They have the Mariner's Inn, which is just kind of a regular standard old inn as you were. And then the first restaurant you come upon is going to be the Driftwood Kraken. And it is a little, they have a couple of tables outside, but inside seems to be a little bit busier. There's large wooden tables and various beautiful driftwood art that's kind of hanging from the ceilings and the walls that have been made into these very intricate like shapes of like tree branches that are extending around. Further down the way you see another restaurant, and it looks like it's called the Stargazer. It seems a little bit more on the higher end of things. Not too crazy, but it's definitely a little bit higher end.
Does it seem to have less people in it?
From this point of view, you can't really see inside, but from this point of view, it looks there's not as many people going in.
Well, I'd like to stay away from the tourist traps if we may.
As you all mentioned needing a kitchen, did you need something specific?
Oh yeah, Flora makes some absolutely amazing pastries.
Ah, so like an oven, then, preferably.
That's correct.
Takes more than an oven to bake, dear. You know that.
Well, yes, but
Sometimes.
an oven is important in the baking process generally.
And some muscles.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
it's
little
true.
heat.
You do see upon the right-hand side, kind of kitty corner to the Stargazer, there is a bakery. It's known as the Siren's Hearth. And you can kind of smell the breads and pastries are kind of going through the air, and you can see a small window that has a couple of loaves of bread in it.
Hey, Flora,
Yes.
would you like breakfast and a business opportunity?
I'm not so much intrigued by the business opportunity, but I definitely would like to either get something to eat or make it.
Well, let's go check out this bakery. Maybe we can use their kitchen for an hour in exchange for wholesaling some of your wonderful pastries to them for them to resell.
That sounds nice.
I'm going to head over toward that bakery.
My character's getting a little hangry, so he's just gonna look around for any kind of food vendor and walk up and just grab like a meat on a stick.
Okay. Yeah, you walk up. There's just a patched eye guy who's kind of rolling out a little wooden cart that has just like sausage that he just shoves a stick inside, and he just kind of roasts it over like a makeshift charcoal stove. Hi, do you want how many?
Let me get 2, one for me and my green fella.
I think that would be 4 copper, please.
I'm gonna hand him 5.
Okay. Oh, thank you, sir. And you hear a chink.
I'm gonna
No
hand
drink.
Snarf my sausage.
Darling, would you like
ho.
Driftwood
Nice.
or the Stargazer?
The Stargazer sounds like they might have some nice tea.
Miidyr starts walking towards the Stargazer.
Okay. All right, so we are going to flip into a little bit of splitting. We're going to start with, let me roll to see you. Okay. Looks like we're going to start with Tsena and Flora heading into the Siren's Hearth. As you get closer, it's not a very busy shop. It looks like it has been past the normal early time that bakers seem to get rid of most of their goods. And so you walk into it. It is very, very small and compact, maybe about 15 feet deep and about 20 feet wide, with a counter that seems to have some glass and various breads. It's more hearty breads right now. There's a few little pastries left over from the morning, but most of them have been swept up and taken away. Behind the counter is about a foot tall fairy with very bright pink skin and this lavender hair that flows down, and she's kind of fluttering around covered in flour, and she has a dragonborn who is younger. Probably looks to be about their teens, a golden dragonborn, who is like carrying out the stuff and setting it down. And you kind of hear this kind of talk and, hey, no, please. What did your grandparents teach you? You have to make sure that the leavener, all right, the powder that we put in, it needs to, come on, your dad taught you this. You know how you're supposed to do this, all right? You're supposed to knead it. And she starts kind of slowly putting her hands in and kind of pushing it around. And she's like, oh, we have visitors. Hi.
Hello,
Welcome to Siren's Hearth. Starts kneading it up. Here, dear, let me handle this. Yep, you're gonna knead it like that.
Looking at the Dragonborn, what he's carrying, does it look like that's some sort of a lunch, something that he was going to be setting out, or was he just...
He's bringing out breads, freshly baked breads, and he's starting to put them into the case.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So she was probably...
Talking about, yeah, she was
banking
kneading in a
on-
bowl herself, trying to make new bread, and then passed off to him as you guys walked in.
Hello. I was wondering. I'm absolutely starving. First of all, I'll take 2 of these right here. These wonderful muffin-looking things.
Oh
And, one
yes,
of
those are
rolls.
great. Okay. Let's see here. Do you want the cream or the chocolate?
Oh, neither, please. Plain.
Just plain? Okay,
Yes.
we can do plain. And she slides it over and pulls out 2 and turns.
Also, I might have something of interest for you.
Oh, we don't normally buy things, but I piqued my
Well,
interest.
It's not something to sell you. It's something to offer you. Actually, I have Flora Hoppendon here from the what's the name of the city? Oh,
It's Heidi Hole.
Heidi Hole. From Heidi Hole, the absolutely wonderful Flora Hoppendon, and she's in the need of a stovetop for baking some of her pastries. Now, I see that your young dragonborn here has unfortunately ruined these wares. They're not going to sell very well today. She might be able to give you a hand in the back with replacing
All right,
them for
first
the
off,
lunch.
sir, that is my son, and second off, I don't take kindly to you acting that way towards them. And if you would
Oh,
like to leave and
meant
go
no
to
offense.
another baker's, you can.
I
Or I
meant
can
no
kick your
offense.
ass and you can get out yourself.
This
I
is
did-
Kelby Cross, isn't it?
This is Kelpie Cross.
Excuse me, I do apologize. I didn't mean to offend at all. I was just thinking that you might be able to use an extra set of hands in the back.
I have plenty of hands, thank you very much, sir, and it's not a very good thing to come in here and, talk negatively or down and seeing that, oh, it's bad, it's negative. This is an establishment. We have perfectly good breads. If you wish to purchase them, you may. Or you can
To
take
be
your
quite-
nice, kindly little ass and leave the shop. There's plenty of other bakers around here.
Very well. I'll take myself out of here. But
Thank you.
To be fair, when I walked in, all I heard was you negatively impacting this young dragonborn's mind with your words, and so I had no choice but to assume that you were being cross with him.
Assumptions. Great. Well, when you raise kids of your own, which I can obviously tell you haven't, you can come back.
Very well. As I walk out, I'm going to define sense.
Okay. She owes no money. Has no debts.
Uh,
All right. Are you also here to belittle my child and parent them?
no, I already went through 12 of my own to parent, so I'm done with that.
Right.
Actually, I wanted a piece of the breakfast carrot cake, but I mean, it's
Of
okay
course.
if you don't.
No, it's fine. It's just I just don't have patience for that type of people.
He meant well, I promise. Also, you should use just a little bit of salt for the younger one. That's the only thing I'd say. It's just from one baker to another.
That's fine. But meaning means nothing when actions speak louder. By the way, yes, the carrot cake. Would you like it with icing or none?
No icing.
Okay. And she pulls that out and gets her ready. All right, that will be 1 silver, please. And would you like the free cup of coffee that comes with it?
Yes, and then I slide her a gold for your troubles.
At least somebody knows how what reparations is. And taps it in. Yes. So. And she goes, listen, the salt is correct. The salt is she knows what she's doing. So they were also is that your friend, your acquaintance?
It's a friend, yes.
I
but-
also had one friend who was not so good at social interactions as well. A little awkward, as we would say. The difference was that he was an 8-foot tall gorilla who had magic. Frightful fellow. Didn't know how to enter a room.
A whole gorilla?
Yes, story's quite complicated, but for skipping this joke, I used to be an adventurer like you. But no, back in my day, I don't know if, are you privy to the fighting circles, around Illustra?
No, I mean, one of my sons is. Are your knees okay, though? I've heard
Yes.
adventurers take a lot of hits, too.
No, I also took an arrow to the knee and happily continued my adventuring.
Oh, it happens sometimes. I do have a question, though.
Yes.
When you go to close down, might I borrow your bakery for like just an hour? I just gotta make a couple of things. It's kind of like, also like, I need to like make some holy carrot cake water.
Holy carrot cake water.
I'm sorry, juice. Carrot cake juice.
Is it still holy?
I mean, if they don't feel the enlightenment of Lotus, they'll get cavities, so who cares?
This is one of the strangest interactions that I have ever been in the past year or so. I will
You're
be okay.
welcome.
I am just renting this space from a friend. Actually, one of my husband's friends. So you can use it. I have no ties to here. I can let you in later. What time do you want to use it now? Do you
Oh, if my friend had, if I give you another gold, will you let my friend back in?
No.
2 gold.
I don't think you understand. No, dear. Let me. You are very sweet, please, dear. No means no. That means that there is no amount of money that you could pay me to deal with rude people. I dealt with them. I was a champion of the underground rings for quite a many years. I have dealt with assholes. I have dealt with people that think they're better than everyone else. I have dealt with you name it. I'm done dealing with those type of people. I made my fortune. I have settled down. I have retired. No, thank you.
Sounds like when it was almost about dinner time with the first 6. Anyway, okay, that's fine. I'll do what I need to do and make some holy water too.
Of course. Yes. Yes. Dear, if you mind showing. I'm sorry. Your name? I didn't get your name.
Flora.
Flora. Go ahead and show Flora the ovens.
Are you okay with me showing him a trick or two?
Give me a minute. She's gonna insight check.
Just with baking.
Oh sure. It's a baking trick.
That's fine.
Or
I was
the
never the
knife.
baker anyway. I'm more of a disciplinarian, I guess it were. Set the rules.
I teach him how to sling a flail around. I'm joking. Yeah, no, I show him how to make croissants.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. We will pass over to. We're actually running kind of short on time. We're hitting that mark of the end, so I am going to go ahead and say that we can go ahead and end session. We can pick up from having everyone else kind of enter into the restaurant, the Stargazer. We can start there next session if that works for everyone.
Sounds good, Stargazer. Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then that's great. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you all for playing for the first session. This is going to be happening for the foreseeable future, which, might change every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific. So come on down. We'll just be hanging out, playing some D&D, collectively hallucinating.
Excellent.
Heck yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Till next time.